Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a civil rights activist during the 1950s and 60s. At the time, African Americans were segregated and not allowed the same basic rights of education, healthcare, and economic opportunities.
Dr. King led the civil rights movement. He strived to bring peace and equality for all people and sought to end discrimination. One of his greatest quotes that really signifies his end goal is off of his "I Have a Dream" speech, where he says, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." On January 17th, there was a march in his honor, which included a number of youth.
Youth Radio's Josh Horton interviewed several of the youth present and asked them how Dr. Martin Luther King inspired them and how his message still speaks to them today.
So would you mind saying your name, your age, and what school you go to?
My name is Malcolm Shelby. I'm 17 years old and I go to Sandia High School.
Markella Brianna Clinton, Rio Rancho High School, 17.
My name is Taylor Griffin. I'm 17 years old. I go to Highland High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
My name is Keone Beatty. I go to Volcano Vista High School and I'm 14 years old.
My name is Kristen Rowe. I'm a UNM graduate.
My name's Mariah Nix and I go to Volcano Vista High School.
My name's Gabriel Lopez. I go to Albuquerque High and I'm in 10th grade.
My name is Zion. I'm 24 and I am from California by way of Atlanta, Georgia.
What does Martin Luther King mean to you?
Martin Luther King means to me he's a representation of equality and unity and empathy and really being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their ideas and opinions. Not necessarily maybe sharing the same ideas, but being able to reason with it and understand where the person is coming from.
Martin Luther King was a great man, especially in the black community. He inspired a lot of hope, much like today's President Obama is doing. But not only that, Martin Luther King was a man on a mission. He was on the mission for our civil rights. And it's very important, very great that he stood up when very few would and organized so many to do what no one else had done before.
Martin Luther King for me is kind of the image of where we want to be. Whatever his thoughts, plans, and objectives were that he conveyed to the youth at the time, he wanted us all to be unified as one, not see each other as black, white, African, American, blue, purple, green. He wanted us all to be one group.
Well, he means a lot because he did bring black and whites together, and I'm mixed with a lot. So if he hadn't done that, then I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Basically, he is an icon for me as far as equality goes, and we wanted to come out and do this walk today because we are a blended and mixed family with all different races, ages, educational backgrounds, and it's just a time for us to gather as a family in his memory and stand for what he stood for in the 60s and earlier.
Well, Martin Luther King to me means triumphancy. He's like a symbol of overcoming a struggle and showing that anything is possible. Truly, like everybody tells you that anything's possible, but he's proof that anything is possible, period. He changed the world with just a few words.
Martin Luther King means justice, peace, equality, and a really awesome father figure for everyone. I think that MLK Jr.'s message speaks to the youth in the form of leadership because he was such a prominent leader in the 60s that I think that that's something that can't be taken away no matter how many years progress. And since I work with the youth, I actually work at Wilson Middle School, and the kids were actually here today marching, so they know a great deal about MLK.
Martin Luther King means hope, that there could be a better day for tomorrow, not so much fighting, and then conflicts throughout the world, peace, hopefully, and, all the good stuff that comes along with peace.
How does Martin Luther King message speak to today's youth?
As far as today's youth, although we recognize that each other, we are different races, it's important for us to remember, just because we're all different races, we do need to work together and ignore the stereotypes. Like, I acknowledge that someone else is a different race than my own. But Martin Luther King's message as far as today's youth, it's important for us to know that we're different races and respect it and accept it as opposed to trying to change it and conform.